World Bank calls on government to urgently present the $125 million financing support to Parliament for approval to fund the rehabilitation of the Vea Dam.
So in the bulletin, sanitation crisis deepens in Bankuman as residents without disposal options dump garbage on beaches, polluting coastlines and endangering lives.
Also in the bulletin tonight, we explore how the pressure to succeed is affecting health of Ghana's working youth.
In international news, Japan's Prime Minister says he has no plans to quit despite projections his ruling coalition will lose its majority in the country's upper house. Well, the details of these and many more stories, including sports and entertainments, coming up over the next 1 hour. Do stay with us.
Let's begin the bulletin from here. Bankuman is a densely populated fishing community in Temanu town, and it is grappling with a growing sanitation crisis. Joseph Armstrong Godelegbe visited the community and has more in this report.
This is supposed to be a beach, but instead it has been turned into a dumping site. What's supposed to be an escape for many has now become an eyesore littered with wastes. What's more shocking is that this place is a short distance to the Tema main harbor and the Eastern Naval Command, but it has been neglected, with many people turning it into their personal landfill.
Bankuman is home to over 10,000 people. Despite its vibrant fishing and fish smoking industry, the lack of basic sanitation facilities has created a dire situation for both residents and the environment. This community is known as a hub for fish smoking, a trade that feeds many households and supplies markets across the capital. But there is a worrying development. There is barely any distance between where the fish is smoked and where refuse is dumped. Even more concerning, the dumping happens directly on the seashore. From a distance, the shoreline resembles a landfill site. Open defecation is also rampant, a result of nearly every household lacking toilet facilities. Our camera crew witnessed people defecating in the open, undeterred by our presence.
You don't have toilet at your shop?
No.
What are you carrying?
Rubbish.
Where are you taking it to?
The seaside.
Who sent you?
Our parents.
Is it right to dump refuse at the seaside?
No.
So why are you doing it?
Because I don't know where I'll go and throw it away.
Is it what they teach you at school?
No.
So what's the right thing to do?
To recycle it.
Can you swim here?
No.
Why no?
Because there are refuse here.
Who caused it?
Ourselves.
Very terrible.
Caused by?
Individuals. This human activity, not financial. That's human activity.
Yourself included?
We are all included.
You also dump here?
Sure.
You defecate here too?
Not usually always here.
But sometimes?
Yeah.
And as we speak, you see another person going to dump. Young man, come. Who sent you to dump the refuse here?
No one sent me. This is the place that we are dumping our refuse.
Is it right?
No, it's not right.
Meet Emanuela, an 18-year-old senior high school graduate. Like many young women in Bankuman, she has joined her mother in the fish smoking trade.
Where do you dump your refuse?
At the seashore.
You are a student. Is it right to be dumping refuse at the beach?
No.
So why don't you educate your parents and your younger siblings?
When we dump it, we burn it. But some other people, they don't burn it.
Emanuela's story is a reflection of the larger problem. Residents here are well aware of the health and environmental risk, but without support or infrastructure, they are left with no options.
This is not just about the environment, but about our health, our image, and our responsibility as a community. We can and must do better at city authorities and citizens. Joseph Armstrong, Go TV3, Bankuman.
Away from sanitation, the World Bank is urging the government through the Ministry of Finance to urgently present the additional financing support of $125 million to Parliament for approval to fund the rehabilitation of the Vea Dam in the Upper East region. The project will support irrigation on 850 hectares of land on the left bank of the dam. Here's a report by Bankuman Rabiu.
The Vea Dam was constructed between 1965 and 1980 to support all year-round farming. The Vea Dam also serves as the source of drinking water for residents of Bolgatanga and its many surroundings. Since its completion, the facility has not seen any comprehensive rehabilitation works. Canals, drains and others are almost completely broken, preventing farming during the dry season. The World Bank's additional financing support for the West African Food System Resilience Program, FRSP, with 80% of funds focused on irrigation at the Vea Dam in the Bongo district, has yet to take effect due to delays in parliamentary approval. The World Bank Task Team Leader for the Food System Resilience Program, Ashwini Rekha Sebastian, during an inspection tour of the left bank of the dam, called for quick action by Parliament to improve the facility for the project to take off.
We want to rehabilitate these main canals. We have the resources, we've done the design, we are in the process of where we need to contract, but we need this financing to be taken to Parliament so that it can be approved.
The Upper East Regional Minister, Donatus Akamugri Atanga, highlighted the significance of the Vea Dam for agriculture and water access in the region.
We want to call upon the youth that when this project is completed, they should apply themselves to it. And so that once they are engaged in agric and with the mechanization program, under the Feed Ghana project of the government, the youth will be gainfully employed, and so that we will be able to improve ourselves and improve the economy of this particular region.
The Member of Parliament for Bongo, Charles Bawadua, assured the World Bank of Parliament's readiness in improving the financing support.
We are going to engage to ensure that whatever steps that are required to be done, we can get the process documentation through the Ministry of Finance to Parliament so that the passage can be done.
The project includes the rehabilitation of the main canals, littoral systems, automation, as well as bridges connecting communities. It will also involve training farmers on how to increase productivity.
Away from that, President John Dramani Mahama has pledged to fix critical road networks in the eastern region and enhance essential social infrastructure. He made the promise during a stop in Kofodi as part of his thank you tour of the region.
The president's visit to the eastern region focused on engaging with chiefs and residents following his re-election. The Eastern Regional House of Chiefs President Nene Sakite urged President Mahama to intensify efforts to end irresponsible mining activities which are damaging the environment. He also called for the rehabilitation of neglected infrastructure in the region.
This tenure presents you with a historic opportunity to deepen your legacy. The first 120 days of your administration have been promising and signal a good start. Fight against Galamsey must be sustained and intensified.
President John Dramani Mahama responded by assuring that the government would work to fix key road networks and restart stalled infrastructure projects in the region.
Yenim say a Ghana economy eastern region esombo pa if say wo hwe ekwejuma and mining.
The eastern region is a significant contributor to Ghana's economy, particularly through agriculture and mining. As such, it's essential that the region receives a fair share of national resources.
Finalization of Osino Enyiresi Enyinam bypass, construction of modern bridge over Afram River, Moamunim Kwewu Afram Plains. Afram Ensiono.
We plan to construct a bridge over the Kwewu Afram Plains River, linking Adoso and Amanfrom to ease transportation. We promise to complete the Eastern Regional Hospital, which was initiated by the previous government as part of our development agenda.
President Dramani Mahama noted that a road auditor report by the Auditor General commissioned by his administration is ready. The president further vowed to punish all contractors who receive double payment for no work done.
Na big push no, ya de beye akwan minim se nananum bebre abra ye ko campaign.
Traditional leaders have expressed concerns about the poor state of roads in the region. We commit to addressing this issue through the Big Push agenda to focusing on all deplorable roads.
Beye audit. If you say you say akwan ni bi eye akwan a road fund de tuaka.
We've halted certain ongoing road construction projects to investigate irregularities, including double payments to contractors. We will take action against any contractors found guilty of misconduct.
Now, big push, Eastern region, Monsa Bekamuchefa.
Meanwhile, the Asantehene Otumfuo Cedi II is calling for a major shift in Ghana's mining sector, urging the government to prioritize Ghanaian investors over foreign companies in large-scale mining concessions. Speaking at the Ashanti Regional House of Chiefs General Meeting, Otumfuo he cited South Africa's Johannesburg as a success story where indigenous ownership has driven real economic transformation.
Ghana's mining sector has long been dominated by foreign firms, sparking debates over who truly benefit from the country's vast mineral wealth. Critics say the current system prioritizes short-term gains over sustainable local development. The Asantehene is leading the charge for change, pushing for policies that empower Ghanaian investors to take control of large-scale mining operations.
I suggest
prioritizing contracts for Ghanaian miners, allowing them to partner with foreigners if needed to boost revenue generation. South Africa's development was driven by gold mining, which heavily involved local miners. Given our own rich gold deposits across various regions, we could create employment opportunities for young engineers and other graduates.
His proposal aligns with growing calls for economic empowerment and local beneficiation, ensuring Ghanaians reap more rewards from their resources. Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Yusuf Suleimana, agrees with the Asantehene.
As we talk now, most of the large-scale companies in this country are owned by foreigners. It is the commitment of this government to ensure that Ghanaians are able to take up large-scale consignments and, with the support of government, to be able to drive the most benefit that we're supposed to get from mining. We will introduce policies that will prioritize local investors and ensure that the wealth from our soil benefits our people first.
The Asantehene also challenged traditional leaders to prioritize long-term equity stakes in mining ventures rather than settling for short-term royalty payments to reshape Ghana's mining benefit sharing model.
That's what That's an investor be banopa. Other than any equity, Namidras Commission, one and cassette. As I say now, what is so good, and I what is so much say, Graham Favalun 20, 80, then you have the traditional council woman 30, 40, 50%. Wow, Bazu Womusa. I don't need to because of a quiet sanity. Not there be any other royalty, no, I'm when near Jehu. Royalty Takunda, man near Jehu.
With the Minerals Commission currently reviewing the Minerals and Mining Act, stakeholders are hopeful that this push for local ownership would translate into concrete policy changes. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Kumasi.
Well, while the Asantehene is pushing for change, government says a lot has been achieved over the past few months in the fight against illegal mining, also known as Galamsey, with government yet to declare a state of emergency in areas affected by the menace. Calls have intensified that the menace be tackled head-on. There's more in this report.
The Minister of Justice and Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine during the week directed the Economic and Organized Crime Office, YOCO, to investigate national organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Joseph Yamin, and third national vice chairman of the NDC, Abanga Yakubu Al-Hassan, over allegations of engaging in illegal mining. Both Joseph Yamin and Abanga Yakubu Al-Hassan have denied engaging in the illegal mining activities.
I have never been involved in any illegal mining activity at any point in my life or behind any task force. These allegations are baseless, malicious, and calculated attempts to tarnish my heart and reputation. I'm ready to cooperate fully with IOCO or any legal mandated investigative body. I, Abanga Yakubu Al-Hassan, will put my position in line, the vice chairman position. If anybody is able to confirm that he has given me money based on forming task forces with Honorable Joseph Yamin to extort money from them, and that they brought me money, or I'm engaged in the destruction of our water bodies and the forest reserve in Galamsey activities.
Speaking on the key points, Minister for Government Communications Felix Kwachofuzu says Ghana has seen improvements in the fight against illegal mining under the Mahama administration. He indicated that President Mahama has restated his commitment to the Galamsey fight.
Significant work has gone in. And indeed, I can tell you for free that between the time we came to power and now, 518 people have been arrested for engaging in Galamsey. 518. In fact, 246 excavators have been seized. Some of them have been burnt. There are some who have expressed misgivings about that approach. Yeah. If you are seen involved in it, you will be arrested and prosecuted. So your level or the lack of it won't matter. If there's evidence that you are a kingpin, you don't go to the ground to mine yourself, but you are the one basically sponsoring the activity. We will come for you as well.
For private legal practitioner Martin Pebu, the police should be equipped and resourced to handle the illegal small-scale mining.
Equip and maintain the police service for the function. It's a rider. We have not equipped our police service enough. We've not maintained them enough. You see, so equipment, obviously, body cameras, right, training, etc. You know they have their SWAT team. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people like the show of force. I mean, see how the police SWAT team looks like. Yes, they also have their muscular, etc. Is that not it? Mm-hmm. So in terms of the optics, they also fit the billing. So you equip and then you maintain. And most especially, it's accountability.
A leading member of the Convention's People's Party, CPP, Kwame Jantwa, rather wants a ban to be placed on all forms of small-scale mining. This, he argues, will enable those who engage in illegal mining to be dealt with.
I think what should happen, we should ban all small-scale mining for now and then put it in a much better structure. And for me, people will not stop mining gold, so put it in the form of cooperatives. But it has to be done. We have to be able to clear all the miscreants, because those who have small-scale mining licenses, they do Galamsey, don't they?
Kwame Jantwa also called for the arrest and prosecution of all political figures involved in illegal small-scale mining.
We've been going through this Galamsey thing for quite some time. It's getting worse, but we haven't been able to arrest any financier of Galamsey. And not until we start looking at those who are financing it, it will continuously go on. For me, I feel, and I keep saying it, and I'll continue saying it, we've got to a point where we should take the bull by the horns, and have an order of shoot to kill. Those politicians who are in Galamsey, those other people who finance Galamsey, they should all be brought to book.
With government yet to heed to calls to declare a state of emergency in areas affected by illegal mining, doubts remain whether it is truly committed to tackling the illegal mining menace despite the gains made so far. The fight against Galamsey is far from over, and it is a hope of Ghanaians that politicians and duty bearers who have been given the mandate by the citizenry will use that mandate to protect the environment for posterity.
Every day at busy bus stops, men known as shadow boys help keep things moving. They shout out destinations, help passengers fill seats, and make sure buses fill up quickly. It is not an official job, but for many of them, it is their only way to make a living. There's more in the following report.
Their voices are their bread. They move hundreds of people every day. These shadow boys at bustling bus stops are human public address systems working from dawn to dusk, hustling to survive.
I am a shadow boy. Then I get money from them. This is what we feed with because we don't have any help. This is what we do to be able to provide for our families.
Their voices rise above the traffic, above the horn's annoyance, calling, shouting, guiding. But how do they do it? And what role do they really play in keeping Ghana's chaotic transport system running? He calls himself Patupa, a 19-year-old boy who arrives at bus stops by 5 a.m. every day. His job? Shout loudly, pull in passengers, and earn his daily bread. He tells me he makes close to 200 cedis on a good day.
I can make like 1.5 or 2.1.
Every day?
Every day. If the car is empty and I help you and the passengers come into the car and you get 4, I'll get you 20 Ghana. Yeah.
If the car is not empty?
If the car is not empty and you bring some, maybe 3 or 5 passengers, I'll collect 5 cedi or let's say 7 cedi.
Is it also dependent on the kind of vehicle?
Yeah.
So a Sprinter like this is like how much?
7 cedi and 20 Ghana. And the small car Toyota Fish, 5 cedi, 4 cedi.
To drivers and their mates, Patupa and other shadow boys scattered around various bus stops to make their work easier, quickly filling empty seats and speeding up turnaround time.
Sometimes, if your mate is not active or not helping you, some of the shadow boys are active. They load the cars and in no time, the car will be full.
They are helpful. When there are no cars, they help the passengers get cars. They help us a lot. They call passengers for us. I stand by my car to direct people into it, and they go and bring the passengers.
To passengers, they are effective middlemen, guiding, informing, even helping with luggage.
You see them shouting, screaming here, so it will alert you to know this is where you locate here the vehicle.
You see how important middlemen are in some. That's how they are. They are really, really important because if not for them, one car, some things are there. He's not a mate, but he's a middleman. He's like a middleman.
The work isn't always smooth. It comes with territorial fights, loud verbal clashes, and stiff competition.
Energy.
While some drivers and mates appreciate their efforts, others see them as a nuisance.
When they finish loading and I don't give them money, they beat me. But I have not employed them too. They will slap your car or even punch you. One has punched me before.
They don't help us in any way. I can do it myself. Look at where he is standing. I can shadow myself.
They help, but not that much because by all means, the church gets here
Even if they are not here, by all means, the church will get here and you get your car.
Transport expert Dr. Chiadakwa believes that as these shadow boys grow to become vital to the transport ecosystem, they must not be ignored.
They complement to the transportation system. If we recognize them as such, that they are contributing to the transportation comforts, then we should also find a way of trying to put them in a better status.
To some, these shadow boys, they are heroes of Accra's trust system. No protection, no contract, just their voice, hope, and a hustle. Perhaps their daily grind is helping to keep the entire trust system afloat. So next time you hear them shout on top of their voices, remember that it's more than demand, sometimes it's a survival. Noble Crosby, Annan, Madina Zungojashi, Accra. Some other stories tonight. In the rush to meet deadlines and show productivity, many young people are skipping meals and ignoring the warning signs their bodies are giving to them. But for some, that innocent hunger turns into something more serious: ulcers and gastritis. In this report, Christabel Sessa-Strev explores how the pressure to succeed is affecting the health of Ghana's working force.
It's 2:47 p.m. You've been working non-stop since 8 a.m. You are hungry, tired, and still staring at that screen. You think, let me finish this task first, then I'll eat. But the task becomes 2, then 4, then the hunger fades, replaced by a sharp pain in your belly. You ignore it, like always. But what if that pain is your body's final warning? This is the story of many young professionals, interns, and even students. Many are racing through life, trading full meals for coffee, pressure for pain. Doctors say this can show up as ulcers and gastritis.
This lining of the stomach either injured or complete loss of that lining, then we have what we call either a gastritis or an ulcer. Patients will start having symptoms. Usually they complain of abdominal pain, and the abdominal pain is usually at the top, where we call the epigastrium, just below the breastbone. If it is a peptic ulcer, you realize that the pain is related to meals. So for those who have gastric ulcers, the moment they eat, that's when they have the pain. And then for those who have duodenal ulcers, they rather get the pain when they are hungry.
Amma tells me she was 23 when her stomach started acting up. She thought it was normal stress until she collapsed at work one afternoon. She tells me she experiences burning in her chest. Then she felt nauseous anytime she tried to eat. She went to the hospital and doctors told her it was gastritis. Now, she takes medicines before she eats, and she cannot go more than 4 hours without food. Ama's story is not rare. Doctors say more young people are reporting chronic stomach issues, and the culprits are usually the same: skipped meals, bad eating habits, and too much stress. But why do people ignore natural feelings in the body to eat during work?
Some of us want a raise, some of us want a promotion, and some of us just love doing the work we do. So even today at work, I had to drink many cups of coffee because I didn't want to go out for lunch. I'm just doing everything to finish the project I have been given. And there is a deadline. So basically the deadline is also pressuring me to do what I have to do.
If you go out for break and the class first comes to the class and she wants to collect their books, you won't get time to continue your work. And that time too, you'll be hungry and you can't do the work, so you have to wait for a second break so that you can go to the food.
I took meals for work because of the work productive and the time factor, because I have a little time to work to finish that work. So if I stop the work for the food now, the time will against me.
A working hour has been given to you for you to finish the work. So you eating or you leaving your job to go and have your meal or to go and have a meal will eat into that time. So that is the reason why sometimes you want to finish your work before maybe go for your meal.
Doctors say a few changes could make a big difference.
We have medications that we give to treat that infection. And once we are able to eradicate it, it means we are also, we've kept the person out of the symptoms of the ulcer. You are the type that take excess coffee, spicy foods, when you know you have these other risk factors or you have this ulcer, then you also modify your diet so that you do not take in a lot of spices. So drinking alcohol, you must limit your drinking, or if you can stop. Smoking, you can also limit it, or if you can stop. So these are lifestyle modifications that you have to put in to either stop it or to reduce the severity.
If you often feel a burning pain in your stomach, getting nauseous after meals, feeling discomfort when you have not eaten, dealing with frequent bloating or gas, or losing your appetite altogether, those could be signs that something's wrong and it is time to pay attention to the body. Christabel Success Trevor, TV3 News, Accra.
Also, in today's fast-paced work environments, personality clashes are becoming increasingly common and the fallout can be costly. From missed deadlines to high staff turnover, conflict among team members affects not only morale but productivity. Elsie Edu has more in this report.
Different personalities under one roof are inevitable in any workplace. But when those differences lead to conflict, it can affect everything from output to employee well-being. According to workplace consultants, unresolved personality clashes are among the top reasons for decreased morale and internal transfers. But the right leadership can make a difference. HR expert Stephen Adai highlighted the crucial role leaders play in preventing personality clashes in the workplace.
In assembling your team, you need to be sure that, one, you must admit that there are different personalities that come to play. I've mentioned 6 in my introduction. Who leads the team? Is the person a perfectionist? Is the person an analyst or an analytical person who is data-driven? Is the person assertive? Is the person empathetic? Is the person a doer? You have to make sure that whatever organizational function you have to play, all these people have a key role to play in it. And they are appointed or employed because of their strengths. If they have weaknesses which are obvious, they must be fought, or we must tailor-make policies and solutions to address these ones. If you are able to do all of this, you'll be able to have the results that we want.
Some workers also share their experiences on how clashes have affected their work.
I would say it affected work productivity in the sense that production delayed due to the fact that one party wasn't communicating the changes in whatever they do with the other party, which brings a lot of clashes.
I was working in Obuasi. One person came to join us and he decided to talk to the owner of the job about us. Instead of my boss to speak to me, he sacked me from the house. So I packed and left.
Turning tension into teamwork is an approach more businesses may need as workplace diversity continues to grow.
Now, data packages have gone up by 15%, but frustrated users across the country say they are paying more for bundles that barely last a day. So what is really going on with data metering? Ayinam Haliga finds out in this report.
Excitement filled the air when the announced 15% increment in data packages took effect July 1.
My engagement with the CEOs have resulted in the following specific measures which are to take effect from Tuesday, 1st of July, 2025. Airtel Tigo Ghana, AT Ghana. A 10% increase in all data bundles currently offered by the network. Scancom Ghana Limited, MTN. A 15% increase in all data bundles currently offered by the network. And I'm pleased to announce the restoration of the 399 Ghana Cedi bundle, which currently has been changed to the 350 Cedi bundle that offers 92.88 gig, will henceforth be reinstated to 214 gig for 399 Ghana Cedi.
The excitement was, however, short-lived among some mobile subscribers who say their mobile data packages are depleting faster than before.
Has increased, but the rate in which they reduce it there, that one hasn't increased at all. You get it? So there hasn't been much difference.
Every time you buy 10 cities, 5 cities, within short time your unit is gone, your data is gone. You have to buy data. So if they've increased it, if they've reduced it, it will help us. It will encourage us to buy more. But I don't know. Maybe they may say they've reduced it. But reducing it, it will be in the amount. But the more data you get, maybe it will not be like that. It's a strategy maybe they may use.
Normally buy data on just for me. This is 141. But formally, I can use it more than a day. But now it is, if I bought it, it will take me like 2, 3, 4 hours.
Samuel Yebua, also known as Tech in Chi, is a social media influencer championing the data value bundles for Ghanaians. After a successful campaign leading to the increase in data values, he argues metering is a serious problem that must be addressed.
I'm not making any allegation. As a customer, I just trying to run a test that I saw that this is the issue that is going on. Even though they said that even though they have increased the packages on the data prices, that's not even enough. The issue concerning the data keeps on exhausting is, there are a lot of people that have been complaining to me on my X page, both WhatsApp and those issues. So I didn't want to start something that I don't have much knowledge about. I haven't witnessed it or I haven't experienced it. So that was even the reason why I traveled from the state back to Ghana.
Social media is flooded with complaints, with many questioning the real value of the increment and demanding transparency from telcos. Are telcos truly given 15% more value, or they've just reduced prices with minor package adjustments? In a country where mobile data fuels everything from business to education, the rising costs coupled with shrinking value is raising fundamental questions about fairness, transparency, and digital inclusion.
You're watching News 360 live here on TV3. We return with some more news. Stay with us.
reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle.
From the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital.
From the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Reporting from Sunyani.
From the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission.
Thank you for staying with us on News 360. Let's now bring you some more stories. It was a policy that sought to change the nature of Ghana's economy from one dependent on import and export of raw materials to one which is focused on manufacturing, value addition and export of processed goods. However, the announcement of the cancellation of the one district, one factory policy has sparked some reactions from the general public. My colleague Christopher Marco has been engaging some people in the Savannah region.
The One District, One Factory initiative was designed to change the nature of Ghana's economy from an import-dependent and export of raw materials to one focused on manufacturing, value addition, and export of processed goods. In 2024, then President Akufo-Addo stated that some 321 1D1F projects consisting of 211 new medium to large-scale enterprises and the conscious enabling of 110 existing enterprises have been established with over 170,000 jobs created. In the Savannah region, 3 districts, namely East Gonja, Central Gonja, and Bole districts benefited from the projects. A shea processing factory was constructed in Bupe, a rice processing factory in Salaga, and a groundnut processing factory in Bole. However, not a single one of these factories is operational.
This edifice you see behind me is one of the One District, One Factory projects started by the SWAL MPP administration here in the Savannah region. Now, this is a groundnut processing factory for the people of Bole. Since the completion of this project some 4 or 5 years ago, absolutely nothing has happened here because there's no single machine to be used for the processing of groundnuts.
Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosu Ajari, recently informed Parliament about the cancellation of the program by government.
In line with this objective, the ministry resolved to engage private sector operators to manage and operate the factories under lease agreements.
Some residents in the Savannah region have been reacting to this announcement.
Talking about the cancellation of the program, I think that it is in the right direction because they have wasted resources, and then also Mahama cancelling it will help to also save state resources so that they can be diversified into other areas for economic development.
The previous government, they said they are bringing factory, which we don't know. I don't know the number of people that they have employed. I don't know the kind of product they are processing there. A factory, it might either be a groundnut factory or shea nut factory. Those that are within your community, the product that you can get, especially the farm produce.
When there is a factory in our community, the youth will get work doing, and then the old women will feed them regularly. But as the government put a factory and then it's not ongoing, it will affect me as a resident.
Savannah Regional Minister Salisu Biauribi says government will venture into agro-processing parks under the 24-hour economy policy to boost agriculture, create jobs, and increase revenue from exports.
For our economy policy is to facilitate business, facilitate trade, facilitate in economic activity. So if indeed we realize that this citation of this factory can even be something that can support our 24-hour economy, why not? We'll definitely go along with it. But if it isn't, we cannot be wasting the resources of the state.
Now, as Ghana's e-commerce space continues to expand, questions are being raised about the role of the local currency in a digital world that increasingly runs on foreign exchange. In this report, Deborah Abament explores what the future holds for the Ghana Cedi in the world of online trade and what it means for local businesses navigating global transactions.
From fashion boutiques on Instagram to online grocery stores and gadget shops, Ghana's e-commerce space is growing rapidly. But beneath this digital boom lies a quiet currency concern. Most online businesses still rely on foreign currency, especially the US dollar, for transactions, particularly when importing goods. And that raises the question, where does the Ghana Cedi stand in this global trade system?
The strength of a currency is not determined only by central banks or financial markets. It is determined by the people who use it, the people who protect it, and the people who believe in it.
For small and medium e-commerce entrepreneurs, this currency barrier means unstable prices, reduced profits, and uncertain planning. In a world that thrives on digital convenience, Ghana's currency still faces analog limitations. Economists say strengthening the city's position in e-commerce will take more than just market confidence. It will require integration with international payment systems and stronger macroeconomic policies.
Then you need to begin to work on the fundamentals that I've listed. Inflation is high, it depletes the value of your currency. If you have exchange rate volatility, it doesn't attract foreign investors into your economy. If your balance of trade and your current account position and in your general external position is not very strong or resilient, you may struggle to attract investors into your economy.
Regional payment systems like PAPS and platforms like After could offer new hope, allowing local businesses to trade in cedis across African borders without switching to dollars.
Our trade partners won't mind accepting our currency because it will be convertible. If you look at the dynamics, for instance, the US dollar alone commands about 88% of forex transactions globally. Then, of course, Ghana, who doesn't trade much with the rest of the world, or in terms of volume and then value, and then our position in global trade, we do not command so much. There is not enough compelling reason for people to want to readily accept your currency, right? So it's about your value, your position in the thick of affairs.
Until then, the Ghana Cedi remains a passenger in the global e-commerce journey, but the road ahead may yet bring it into the driver's seat.
This is News 360. We have some sports news next.
Bold patterns, bolder women, celebrating the gift of womanhood.
GTV, life styled.
Reporting from the Takoradi Market Circle.
From the heart of the Upper West Regional Capital.
From the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom.
Reporting from Sunyani.
from the Central Business District of Navrongo.
The parliamentarians are on recess.
This is where it all unfolds. The moments that potentially alters the course of our nation and the world. These are the individuals we recognize, the voices we amplify, who appears on screen and who contributes behind the scenes. With professionalism at our core, we bring you news you can trust, impact journalism that makes a difference. This illustrates how diverse perspectives enhance our strength and reinforces our mission. This is 3 News. Leaders in breaking news, exclusive interviews, facts and analysis on TV, radio, online and digital. 3 News, first in news.
Hello there, good evening and welcome to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Bill Lishe. Now, veteran football trainer Abdul Karim Zito has had his interim head coach tag of Kumasi Asante Kotoko Sporting Club officially removed as he has been confirmed as the permanent head coach of the Kumasi-based side. The change in status for the former Kotoko player was confirmed late on Sunday, July 20, via an official statement from the Porcupine Warriors. Karim Zito's deal is a 2-year contract. This development clears doubts over the role of Karim Zito after he took over from Dr. Prosper Nate Ogum just 2 months to the conclusion of the 2024-25 season. In Zito's brief spell as Kotoko's interim head coach, the Porcupine Warriors won the MTN FA Cup and the President's Cup. By winning the FA Cup, Kotoko will represent Ghana in the upcoming CAF Confederation Cup competition. Moving on to women's football, the Black Queens have made history by reaching the semis of the WAFCON for the first time since 2016 after defeating Algeria by 4-2 on penalties. Now, Ghana are seeking their first finals appearance since 2006, but questions have come up about the potential qualification to the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. My colleague Akosie J, who is currently in Morocco, answers this key question in this report.
In the quarterfinals of the competition, South Africa won on penalties against Senegal. Ghana also winning on penalties as goalkeeper Cynthia Finbit-Conlan saved 2 penalties to propel the girls into the semi-finals of the competition. Nigeria outclassed Zambia in a 5-0 win, while host Morocco won 3-1 against the next stage of the competition. The stage now is set for the semi-final clash where Morocco play against Ghana in Rabat and Nigeria play against South Africa in Casablanca. What is at stake for these countries that have qualified to the next stage of the competition? Well, the prize money of $1 million is still waiting. The new trophy that has been unveiled is also awaits the country that gets to win it. However, this is not a World Cup qualifying year, which means if you've been able to qualify to the semi-finals of the competition, it does not in essence mean that you've also qualified to the 2027 Women's World Cup, because in 2026 in Morocco, once again, the tournament will be hosted and the final 4 will qualify to the World Cup.
By way of updates in athletics, Abdul Saminu Rashid has broken the 100-meter record with a time of 9.84 seconds, beating his previous time of 9.86 seconds. Bringing an end to the sports segment here on News 360. My name is Billy Shen. Entertainment is up next.
Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has said he has no plans to quit despite projections. His ruling coalition will lose its majority in the country's upper house. Voters went to the polls on Sunday for the tightly contested election, being held at a time of frustration at the coalition of the Liberal Democracy Party (LDP) and its partner Komeito over rising prices and the threat of U.S. tariffs. Half of the seats in the upper chamber were being voted on in Sunday's election, with members elected for 6-year terms. Speaking after polls closed on Sunday, the Prime Minister said he solemnly accepts the harsh result, but that its focus was on trade negotiation. Having already lost its majority in Japan's more powerful lower house last year, the expected defeat would undermine the coalition's influence. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has told state television that President Vladimir Putin is ready to move toward a peace settlement for Ukraine, but Moscow's main objective is to achieve Russia's goals. Peskov said that the world was now accustomed to U.S. President Donald Trump's sometimes harsh rhetoric, but pointed out that Trump had also underscored its comments on Russia that he would continue to search for a peace deal. Last Monday, U.S. President Donald Trump announced a tougher stance on Russia, pledging a new wave of military aid to Ukraine, including Patriot missile defense systems. Trump also gave Russia a 15-day deadline to agree to a ceasefire or face additional sanctions. Finally, to the Middle East, where residents in the Syrian city of Cedi reported calm in on Sunday after the Islamist-led government announced that Bedouin fighters had withdrawn from the predominantly Druze city. More than 1,000 people have been killed in the clashes. The Cedi bloodshed is a major test for interim President Ahmed al-Sharaa, prompting Israel to launch airstrikes against government forces last week as it declared support for the Druze. Fighting continued on Sunday despite a ceasefire call. The United Nations Migration Agency said on Sunday that at least 128,000 people have been displaced by the violence.
There's more international news on 3news.com, as well as all of the stories we've shared with you here tonight. I am Ayisha Yakubu.
And I am Crosby, and thank you so much for spending your evening with us. Good evening. Bye-bye.